Hi, welcome to Life Integrated Therapies, where we explore ancient art of healing and awakening. Today, we have a special treat in store for you. Today, we're going to explore the ancient art of breathwork connected to modern day science. So let's take a deep breath and dive right in. Hello, JD.
Hello.
Thank you so much for taking time out from your busy schedule to have this podcast.
Thank you for making this happen. I'm excited.
Me too. So maybe we can start with you explaining what is proactive breathwork for someone who's never experienced breathwork before.
Okay. So there's a whole line of, let's say, modern breath work. And it's, I would say, the most efficient and most detailed breath work and body work. So it has breath work and body work. And it's it's literally the psychology of breath. So what do I mean by that? Everybody breathes differently. And how we breathe is a reflection of how we live our lives.
Mm.
So if you want to change your life rather than using the mind, you can literally use the breathing to go in and break patterns in the psychology. What are those patterns? We have thought patterns, emotional patterns, relationship patterns, physical patterns, which are behaviors,
Right.
and literally shift those into who you want to be with more authenticity and freedom.
Wow, you can change your whole life by just changing the way you breathe.
Yes, because one reflects the other. Life is breath. In seminars, I say, what is breath? Everyone says it's life, right? And life is breath. So when you change one, you change the other. But the work has to be done with awareness from the inside out. So it's not just about let's breathe heavy and see what happens, because you'll have physical sensations from that. But there's a whole science with proactive breath work, which explains and understands the emotions, the pathways in the body where those move or activate, as well as something called resources. What's a resource? That could be a confidence, being vulnerable, being able to step forward with charge, being able to uh, express your truth without judgment, having more space in the mind. All of these are possible for everybody, and the breathing can access those resources and make that all happen. So again, it's not just breathing in a certain way, but why do we breathe this way? And what is the benefit? And what will that change within us to allow us to live the life we crave and deserve?
Oh, that sounds amazing. Uh, uh, how did you get into this work? I mean, it's a very
It for me personally, it was kind of by accident,
okay.
let's say. I mean, my life was at a big shift. I was in my mid-20s, and I had a professional career as an athlete. But it seemed as life was going on, it was more frustrating. I would have a problem with a coach, or I would have an injury, and deep within me, there was just like this new uh, desire for more in life.
Mhm.
And specifically what I mean, even I had a good job at that time, and I was living in what everybody knows now as Tulum. So I was living in Mexico. I had good money, simple job, plenty of time to relax and hang out with friends on the beach.
Mhm.
Life looked good, but something inside me wanted more connection, more purpose, and so what happened is I had gone out the night before, and then I went back to my place. I slept most of the day because I was out all night. And then as the sun was going down, I opened my eyes, and I started breathing as if, if you in that part of the world where you free dive, you
Yes.
go down into you might try to touch a stingray or something and real deep, and then you come up. And from holding your breath when you come up, it's like, because you haven't been breathing. Well, I started doing that for no reason. I didn't really
Not
understand.
being in water, you mean?
No, I was in my bed after
Okay.
sleeping, but I opened my eyes and look up, and I wanted more life, this deep urge inside me. So I opened my eyes, and I started breathing real heavily.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, there was this voice that came to me. It wasn't my mind. It was something different, higher, let's say. I know that now. And this voice just guided me and said, just breathe. And then it said, close your eyes, just breathe. And then next thing you know, my body was vibrating like a motor. I was tingling and just like woo, feeling like this. And then I'm seeing people like a movie. People are coming to me, and I'm noticing who it is, and they kind of go away. Mostly memories, let's say, family, people that I lost, people I love. And then after the visual, it went just black. And in that space, there was no thoughts. All of a sudden, there was no content, there was no thoughts, just and I the sensations, they didn't go away, but I kind of disconnected from my body. And then it was like a screensaver on a computer
Mm-hmm.
where there was just colors fading in and out. And what I experienced there is I became the colors, but I became like vibrant and alive, and like I was the color, but I didn't have a body. I didn't have
It's
memories.
like an out of body experience, or
Yes, yes. And
wow.
at the same time, I had never experienced anything like that. So slowly after that, after the colors, I started to slowly feel the vibrations again. My whole body was still tingling, and and then I noticed I was breathing again, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm back here, right? And what happened is from the inside out, like everything, my perspective on the world, how I felt, everything was different. But the first thing I noticed was there was no thoughts. I could feel my body, and then I slowly, whenever I opened my eyes, no thoughts. And and then I looked, it was just me and my dog in my room. Nobody was there. And I looked at the wall in front of me, and the color on the wall was different. Yeah, so it was like somebody came in and painted the wall while I was having this experience. And obviously they didn't, but inside me everything changed. So from there, I slowly kind of stood very slowly. Everything was like in slow motion. And everything I did, every movement was more embodied, let's say.
Present, yeah.
And then I went outside, and I could feel a connection with nature in a way I never had.
So
And keep
something,
in mind, I'm in my mid-20s, so it's a whole new world.
so something happened that day, like physically.
Well, physically and on another level that's beyond the mind. And it changed my life, literally. Because from that moment, that voice, two things happened. One is that voice became me. And that took time, for like the voice I'm speaking now, that's that voice. Because sometimes even when I'm guiding groups, I say things that I never said before, but it's like it comes in the moment because it's a feeling, and then it comes out. But also there was an awareness, there was a clarity that whatever just happened to me, I want to share it with the world. And that was just so clear, like more than anything I ever thought I knew. The challenge was I didn't know what just happened. So then the challenge was how do you got to go learn something. You got to go experience, who else knows this? And that's where it all began. And
Okay,
that was 20 something years ago.
that's so interesting.
Um yeah. So it's been a very fun journey that keeps guiding me really and telling me where to go, what to do, uh, and and what I can say. I mean, I share breath work and body work, but the gift really, for every human, the hardest thing to do as a human is to surrender. And yet, what I realized happened in that first experience is I surrendered. I surrendered to something bigger than me. And then the breath took over, and the breath, cleansed my body, all my cells. And I felt this at the time, but psychologically or emotionally also, I let go of so much that I was holding on that I didn't even know I was holding on to. And it was a complete liberation. And well, yeah, that's what I'm really passionate about is that moment, when people realize that they can really let go. They don't have to use their mind so much.
Yeah.
They can be themselves and trust that whatever's next is really their path. So many people want to know their mission,
Right.
It's a big deal for everybody, but I would say the portal for that, obviously, breath work is a huge tool, but surrendering, if you can surrender, then it comes. You don't need to know. It'll come
It's
to me.
quite hard to surrender, especially if you're somebody who's a bit of a control freak and, I'm a finance controller by profession, so
Yes.
I do audit, and so I do it for a job, and, like, it's really hard to just let go, and I think breath work is, like you said, is something really good to surrender and let go, and it bypasses all the logic and the mind, and it just allows you to just really connect with something bigger than us, right? The breath.
Yes, yes.
So
I don't usually use the word because it's overused these days, but the word spirit actually comes from the word spiritus, the Latin root,
mhm.
and it means to breathe.
Oh, wow.
But people don't know that anymore because it has a different definition, but it's about the sixth or eighth definition still down there
Mm,
in the dictionary. So, so it can connect you, and I'm not telling people what that means for them,
yes.
but it has this ability when it's guided the right way to connect you to more than you know. Yeah. And yeah, letting go is
It's
that's a big challenge.
a big
A
challenge.
big
Yeah.
challenge. Yes.
Yeah. It's lovely. Like you said, when you can do it, it's just amazing. So I've had a few sessions like that too, where I've been able to let go, and it was very rewarding on all levels. Maybe we can tell the audience a little bit like what happens in a session and what's the science behind it as well, because
Okay.
like now I know that you've really been looking into the science behind it. You've been doing this for a long time now. And yeah, maybe that's something really interesting to know as well, because
Okay.
breathwork is something very ancient. This was done, I think there's
Thousands of
reference to
years,
it
yeah.
in the pharaoh times, the
Yes.
priestesses were doing it, and different. So now, what do we know? What can we?
So, first of all, there's two, let's say, areas of breath work. You have the ancient breath work, which you're talking about,
Mm,
which is primarily meditation and different kinds of pranayama and different controlling of the breath.
yes,
And there was an intention with that.
yes.
Now, what I show would be under the umbrella of modern breath work,
Mm,
and it actually came through the lineage of psychology, all the way going back. Not that Freud and Jung practiced breath work, but some of their predecessors did, because they took what they did as the basis of psychology and said, "Yeah, but what about the body? The body is part of it." And then, later they said, "Well, what about the breath? What if we change the breath?" Uh, so that modern breath work, which started in the 60s and 70s, let's say officially with different names, um, that would be what I share. So you asked, what does a session look like? So I'll tell you the way proactive breath work works is first, and most importantly, I believe, in modern breath work is something called the science of emotions. And I'll explain that in a moment. But what that means is first I observe the breathing. Okay,
yes.
so I can see anyone how they breathe and tell them how they see themselves, how they see the world, what's blocked, and what needs to open up.
So you can see everything about a person's personality and character
Yes.
just through the way they're breathing.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the chat, I want you to do
Okay, we will do that.
analysis.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So the more common terminology that you would hear similar to that is body language. Okay, body language is how somebody holds their body, and that is a representation of how they're open, how confident they are, how they function. Well, the breathing is the same. So how you breathe reflects that psychology, personality, and within that, inside we have resources. And
Yes.
so what happens, unfortunately, is as we grow up and the body tightens and the breathing gets squeezed and doesn't move, we lose the natural resources that we have as humans, and then we forget we have them. As simple as like being able to express your truth, knowing your boundaries, feeling confident, feeling safe in your body. That's a huge one. So many humans on this planet don't even feel safe in their own body, and sometimes they don't even know that until I point it out. And they're like, "Wow, that's so true." And yeah,
Yeah.
so they spend years like that. But back to the session. So first, with a session, I observe the breathing pattern. That way, we know where we started, And I can literally tell you from there what you want, what you need more in life to be, your best self or to connect to yourself. So then we know where we start from. Then we have a full session. The full session usually is the breather will breathe in a certain way, usually continuous breathing. So I said there's breath work and body work.
Yeah.
So I work with the body, which means pressure points, particular body adjustments or manipulations. Meanwhile, as that breathing creates momentum, those areas that are holding on that a massage won't get to, and that just touch from the outside won't get to, the oxygen is getting to those areas. So then, with those slight adjustments in the body, it makes it more efficient to break the patterns in the psychology and in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever's in there. So let's say, because we might have heard our issues are in our tissues. Okay.
Yeah.
So a tight muscle, actually, there's trauma, maybe. There's challenges, there's experiences, there's, you know, oh, mom didn't show me enough attention, or I fought with my brother all the time, or whatever.
Well,
So the body remembers those things.
those emotions which are trapped in the cellular memory of the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So the breathing gets in and massages those. Then the body manipulations complement that. And then the muscles that are tight like this, they slowly open. Whatever's in there starts to move. So now you've got emotion or inner motion. And what does an emotion want? It just wants to move. Once it moves, you're free. But so that's the process of the session. But also it's important. There's these waves of let's say excitement versus relaxation. Excitement versus relaxation.
Okay.
So as a breather, you will experience these different waves.
It's
Uh,
like association and disassociation a little bit.
well, hopefully they stay in the body because disassociation is not connected to the body.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But it's more like intensity, an intensity of emotion or physical intensity.
Okay.
And then we break that off,
Mhm.
and then it gets even higher. And there's these waves towards the end, which is what I experienced in my first experience that I shared, as well as what's designed in the experiences that we give as sessions. Towards the end, you go into a meditative space. So that is where we talked about surrender. That's where the surrender naturally happens.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all this doing and work and breathing and body manipulations, whatnot. And then there's a phase of surrender, relaxation, and connection. And just like I received that insight at the end, every session has that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're breathing, you receive insight about what to do about your relationship or what path to take in your career, and you'll receive insight that you never would have thought about because everything's open in that
Yeah.
space. Now going back to the session, that's a lot of explanations. But then after that, specifically with proactive breath work, because we know the details of how to stay open as well, then I would give the breather specific homework that they do in the mornings. Only takes 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
But if you start your day like that, it opens everything up, keeps you in the flow, keeps everything nice and easy,
Mm-hmm.
and it literally changes your whole day. And yeah, and it's packaged together like that so that because one frustration I've had with, let's say, modern breath work in general, and there's a lot now, is people go to a group, maybe a breathing circle, they lay down, they have a nice experience, and then they go back into life, but nothing changes. Yeah. So the difference between most modern breath work, which is an experience, and proactive breath work, is it gives you the tools to know what happened and to change your life and break the patterns that you need to break. So it's very empowering and liberating at the same time with a lot of detail.
So is there maybe a little exercise that you could show for our audience to maybe cope with stress or
Okay.
grounding or something that we could just do together?
Perfect. Yeah. So I'll give two.
Okay.
And the reason is because primarily people either breathe more in the belly and low, or they breathe high. And when one is expanded and they're using that more, the other one is squeezed and tightened up.
Okay.
So, for example, and this is some of the details of the science of emotions. If you're not breathing deep, then you don't feel safe in the body. But that means you don't feel safe in the world. And that goes back usually to the first 7 years of life. Mom and dad, and maybe there was fighting, maybe you moved a lot, so you don't feel safe in the physical environment. So what happens, we squeeze down here, we start to check out of the body. Yeah, and then the breathing gets higher and higher, and all of this gets then we have lower back pain, digestion problems, maybe feminine problems for women. So all of that sometimes can be alleviated
With
and
breath.
fixed just with getting more life and oxygen to the area.
Okay.
So I'll give you one example of how to um, breathe and feel your power
Yeah.
and feel more in the body.
Okay, that sounds
Okay.
great. Yeah.
And then we'll do the other one for basic stress on the shoulders.
Okay.
Okay, so let me show you. Let's say you're not breathing deep, which means you don't feel safe, you don't feel your power. So a quick and easy one to do as soon as you wake up. The first thing you want to do is put your knees up and the hands around. So what does this do? First of all, when you tilt the hips like this, you start breathing deeper. So automatically that's better.
Okay.
Okay. And then just relax, kind of the back kind of straight, but don't uh,
Like this?
yeah, but relaxed at the same time,
Okay.
right? So I'm going to show you just a few inhales. You want to take big inhales, so some with the mouth, just really open the mouth and okay. So keep going. I'll guide you. So a few more. Okay. If you're at home and you're doing this, do 10. So 10 big inhales. What happens is you're charging the body and you're bringing more oxygen down here. And then you're going to engage the power, which is in the solar plexus here. And you're going to use that after 10. So after 10, you're going to take a big inhale and hold, which means close the mouth and hum. So like this. Go ahead. Okay, now keep going. With your legs, look at me, Nissa. You're gonna push out, but just relax hold the arms there. Yeah, so, good. Keep going, keep going. All the strength is in the legs. The arms are just holding that. Go ahead and do another one. As long as you can hum. And as you finish the hum, then you just relax and close your eyes. And feel. Notice what's inside. What usually happens is the mind is clear, and also you get a sense the breathing actually opens up and moves by itself.
Can feel also some tingling sensation on the body.
Where do you feel it?
On my back
Okay,
and also here on my legs.
nice. So you're going to feel it in areas that sometimes hold on. Okay, so good. Just open your eyes, relax. Okay, how is your mind? Is it different?
Yeah, I feel relaxed.
Relaxed?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say there's more space or thoughts in your mind?
It's more space.
More space,
Yes.
right?
Empty. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Relaxed.
So that's what you want.
Mm.
Okay, more space. And it's a human thing, especially in the modern world. People ask, "How do I stop thinking?
Yeah.
How do I can't sleep. My mind won't stop." Or
Yeah.
this is a quick fix to clear the mind, have less thoughts, and feel more space and freedom inside. Okay, so in general, if you're going to do this at home, I would say 3 sets of 10.
Okay.
10 big inhales, hum and push out one time, close the eyes and relax. That's one set. And then you sit there for 30 seconds and then go ahead and do the next one.
Okay.
Now there's another one we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
basic stress. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say we are always in the mind
Yes.
and busy and doing. Okay. What happens when we focus and do something and we're focused, all of a sudden we don't breathe
Yes.
and we contract. Focus means contraction. And where we hold that, everybody in the body, is on the shoulders. Like everybody has tension on the shoulders. So what is that about? That's about responsibility, heaviness, thinking too much.
Burden.
Okay. And the way that we move that is first just relax, kind of in a position. You could put your feet on the floor, it doesn't matter, but
Okay.
something like this, supported. And again, you're going to take 10 big inhales, but also you want to make sure it's really big. So breathe into the shoulders and without using the back muscles. So let me show you what not to do. Some
Okay.
people do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you're using muscles you don't need to to do.
Okay.
Hopefully the shoulders go up, but without using those muscles.
Okay.
Okay. So let's do this together. We'll take some big inhales with the mouth, as big as you can. So ready, go. And just relaxing the exhale, slightly blow if you need to. Keep going. Good. Keep going. Big inhale. So I'll take a look at you. Keep going. Yeah, even a little longer because you want to feel that. Good. That's more expanded. All the way up to about 10. Okay. I'm going to ask 2 more from you. And then on the last one, you're going to put your hands behind your head and then push your head down without arching the back too much, but push down to where you feel a tension behind the shoulder blades. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Okay. So look at me. So let's take the last breath together.
Okay.
And now big inhale and hum and push forward. Push, 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 push. Yeah, forward. Let me help you. So push, really push. Now, do you feel the tension here? Now you're pushing into the tension there and breathing and humming, or humming rather. Push, push, push. As long as you can hum. And then relax, slowly come up and move the hands. Again, close the eyes and feel that space inside. And you can breathe any way. Like just notice the breath. It doesn't have to be so big, but usually naturally it opens up. Okay. So I'll ask you again, in the mind, is there more space or thoughts?
There's no space.
More space. And can you feel a difference in the shoulders or behind the shoulder
I
blades?
feel like my shoulders have expanded.
There you go.
More space I am.
Expanded. Very nice. So open your eyes. How does that feel?
That was great.
That's
Thank
pretty
you.
nice,
Yes,
right?
that was
Okay.
lovely.
So by the way, in proactive breathwork, we have a countless, limitless number of different exercises precise for each person and their breathing pattern. Obviously, we don't have time to
Yes,
show them all,
share them all.
but those are 2 main ones.
Yes.
Feeling safe in the body and accessing your power, the first one, and letting go of stress and clearing the mind, the second one. So everybody can practice those. It's better in the morning. Why? Because you got the rest of the day.
Yeah.
It really sets your state of feeling, and then your day will be totally different.
JD, to round off, would you maybe tell us a little bit about what else we can use breathwork for other than healing? Are there any other things it's used for?
So, like I explained so far, it's a psychology, right? So it could be used for intimacy and couples, okay? Also for deeper connection, communication, uh, within one person, and maybe intimacy to connect with their self and their body. That's one way. Or couples. So I also guide. I have both seminars and coaching guidance on that. I personally also share corporate wellness, which is a
Okay.
new upcoming necessary component of every business. It's beautiful that businesses are now, they want to
Looking into
contribute
this. Yeah.
to take care of their employees and their health and wellness. And then something else that I'm passionate about, because I used to be a soccer player, is empowering athletes to use the breath for their stress management, preparation before matches, uh, after the match cool down, and also in specific sports, managing how they feel and perform in the match. And where I'm doing a lot of work now is in tennis,
Really?
because tennis is the most stressful. Do you play tennis?
My dad was a tennis player. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So if you haven't played before, those listening, it is the most stressful.
It is.
It is literally psychology in action.
Yes. It
And
has to be a strategy.
yes,
Yes.
and
You have to constantly be thinking, like we're planning every possible scenario.
yes, and with that, because I mean, think about it. It's just you. All the eyes are on, well, unless you're playing doubles, but it's all on you, and every play you have to do. In a team sport, you can blame somebody, or okay, I did my part, you do your part. But in tennis, it's all on you. The goat, Novak Djokovic, there's been plenty of interviews with him where he says the number one tool I use for mental strength and ability to perform is conscious breathing. He says it over and over. And yet, what we've implemented with the academies now is even more detailed than conscious breathing. Because conscious breathing is being aware of the breath, which is brings you back to the moment, brings you back to the body. But when you can activate the breath in different ways, whether it's to charge and raise your energy, or discharge, let go of the last point and recenter, or like we similar to what we did, just clear the mind so you're prepared to play at your best. Those are some examples of what we use, as well as how do you get in the zone? And not everybody knows that term, but even artists or athletes or anybody that has a passion and loves it, there's this state you can get in where it's so easy, it's effortless, and you perform at your highest. Dancers get there as well, and the proactive breath work can literally guide you step by step how to get in that instead of just waiting. Yeah, because it's been that part has been studied, uh, also the 60s and 70s, and it's developed, but nobody's put the formula together that says do this and do it quick. So usually people have to wait. Oh, now I'm in it. Okay. But the breathing can take you there. So that's something I'm very passionate about, and I currently train with the best players in Turkey at various different academies, and just wrote a book this year called Breathe to Win.
Okay.
It was just published this summer, and that one is also being distributed to various levels of sharing this new knowledge. So yeah, it's exciting, and well, now I'm talking about tennis, but even that book, it's also about life, but I also believe that every athlete should get that book and see what's in there, because it really does apply to how you manage what's going on here when you're in the, you know, under the pressure
Yeah.
of performance in any sport.
I really saw that in my father and my uncle, my dad's brother. He had a world ranking in tennis. He was number one at UCLA when Jimmy Connors was number.
Oh, wow, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, he
Very
was
nice.
really, really good tennis player. So yeah, and I know like all the tennis players in my family. I think we have like 6 national champions. They all are super stressed.
Yeah,
And
yes.
yeah, but yeah,
So it's a new tool for the tennis world, really.
yeah.
And
I never thought you could use breath work for tennis. Actually, that's a nice.
well, here's another, let's say, metaphor, but it's
Yeah.
true. Tennis has a rhythm,
Mm,
right? You hit the ball, it goes over. You receive the ball, you hit it back.
yeah.
Breath is the same.
Well,
Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So for so many reasons, it's perfect for tennis. But I can say this as well: the world is now playing paddle, pickleball.
yeah.
Like there's so many, and
So many.
people that have never picked up any kind of racket. And then there's ping pong. So it's really it's fascinating to see that growth, and that's nice.
Yeah.
And I think people are drawn because it does have that psychological component of the stress and the gratification
Mm,
when you can enjoy it and also win.
yeah.
So
It
yeah,
does give you a high
yeah,
some level. Yeah.
yeah,
And I think breath work as well. I think a lot of people like I have some friends that do different types of breath work, holotropic, different types to get a high. Like they
yeah,
say they do it because it gives you a high.
yeah.
Even in some pranayamas, I think it also gives you a high. Like you can just like feel like you're floating or
Well, and this is athletes, but you might have heard of a runner's high.
yes, I
And
have. Yeah.
nobody realizes it, but the runner's high is that movement of oxygen and carbon dioxide, and it gives you a euphoria.
Yes.
Literally, the hormones that are released
Yes.
give you, serotonin and nice, feel good hormones. So it is natural and beautiful.
So JD, what's the science behind the breath work?
Okay, so we talked about the science of emotions, so that's part of it. But I think what you're asking is part of what's kind of new is neuroscience,
Yes.
what's happening on a chemical level, and whatnot. So the first, and every session is different, but what you notice is when someone starts breathing quicker, which is how we start rhythmic breathing. The first thing that happens is it activates the sympathetic nervous system. And some might know that as the fight or flight.
Yes.
Okay. So that also activates different areas of the brain to where it is kind of like memory recall or whatever is associated to those fight or flight or fear or traumas or experiences, those also surface. So it's a brain process, as well as when we touch on the body holds on to memories. So also when we touch there, there's a lot of afferent and afferent associations in the nervous system. So that's why it's important to oscillate with the waves. And what that means is we want to process in a way where it originally activates the sympathetic nervous system, but we need to also encourage relaxation and parasympathetic response. Okay. So, how we do that in the session is movement, other types of touch, body manipulations, and different guidance that breaks the patterns in the psychology. And so the session overall, you have these oscillations between excitement, oh my, maybe even more tension in some cases, and dealing with experiences that people wouldn't even talk about. And by the way, that's a beautiful aspect, is you can process psychological challenges without having to speak about it.
Yeah.
So in the body that happens. So then when you oscillate, you go back to parasympathetic. So what does that mean simply? That means relaxation. So the body in that sense, it opens up, right? So when the body opens up, the breathing itself also opens up on another level. So you can literally see it when you understand what you're looking at, these waves of excitement, relaxation. Okay. And all of that also, the process starts to alter the brain waves. And then towards the end, you have more of first a relaxation, maybe a theta creative brainwave, which is more similar to REM sleep, deep sleep. And then some people have even the connection and just space where there's no thoughts.
Yes.
And in that place, sometimes even gamma waves come, which is where you get downloads, insight. I've heard of everything because it's more personal for each person. But even, talking to Jesus or Buddha or, Muhammad,
Experience.
getting uh, direct insight about what to do. Or another beautiful one, seeing or communicating with past loved ones, mother or father or whatnot, and really, as they shift and move out of that, opening their eyes with a deep connection, as if that person's holding their hand right next to them. So,
That must be deep healing
yes,
on another level. Yeah.
yes. So, and I would say the let's say the neuroscience and all the hormones that are moving and changing and part of the process is still being studied, and will probably take a long time. But there's also a lot of new devices that we're about to do some new studies with as well, that is going to gauge the level of consciousness and how that changes throughout a breath session through biofeedback. So that's going to be exciting to get the results from that once we do it later this year. Um, so yeah, there's so much happening.
Exciting times
Yes,
ahead. Yeah. This is exciting. Yes. And I also notice when I do breathwork sessions with clients, sometimes you said the REM sleep, I've noticed the eye
yes,
flickering,
yes.
and that's just amazing.
And some people will come back and say, "I slept."
Yeah.
But one difference in the sessions is in sleep, usually you're still breathing. Some people go into an altered space and they stop breathing completely. There's no breath, but maybe the eyes are flickering or they're having maybe an out of body
Yeah,
experience.
you can see something's happening, but you don't. Yeah.
Yes.
So
And how you know this is interesting. You can literally say, "Nissa, would you like some coffee?" No response, because they're connected and just in a nice place of bliss or relaxation. Yeah.
okay. So JD, I'm dying to know what you can tell me about what you can see in my breath.
Yep,
So,
let's do it. This is one of my favorite parts of what I do.
so
So first, just lay down,
okay.
okay? So the first thing we want you to do is just breathe the way you always do. This is called a common breathing pattern, which means if you're watching TV, you're not thinking about it, just how do you breathe? And the first question is, what do you feel? Can you feel what part of the body moves when you inhale?
I feel like it's going to here. I'm not sure.
Okay. And now take a big inhale and see if that's any different. Okay, probably you can feel that's different. Yeah, okay. Very nice. And now breathe just with the mouth. Okay. So similar pattern. Now, you feel physically where it is. Now I'm going to tell you what those areas mean. Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay if I touch you?
Yes.
Okay. So let's give this a shape. Your common breathing pattern was a bit like a teardrop.
Okay.
You feel that there?
Yeah.
Okay. The teardrop does not go all the way down into the pelvic floor. One of the exercises we gave was how to feel deep in the body, which is about feeling safe and grounded. So yours comes about to the waistline, but I would say it doesn't come all the way outside. So there's going to be tension there. Okay. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's obvious holding on. And then if I go deeper right in the middle, also, that's really where kind of primally there's some, let's say, hesitation or fear of being in the physical world. So it means that early in life, maybe you didn't feel safe, or you were a kid and you did some things, but then you were told no, so you couldn't play and be yourself and enjoy your body and the physical world. Now, as you breathe up at the top of that teardrop, there's tension here. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Okay, that is about trust.
Mhm.
How do we know that? Right above it is the heart. Trust is the doorway to the heart. Okay, so because this is tight, take a big inhale again, by the way. Okay, so when you take a big inhale, do that again and watch my hands. Okay, now look at my hands and take a big inhale. So what you'll notice, it's like you have an inhale here, and then this wants to open up with it, but it's holding on. So it's like this opens and then this opens at a different rate. It's because of this door is closed. Yeah, so it's hard for you to trust. That's what it means. I would say you're in touch with your emotions. How do we know that? Because you do breathe in the chest with a big inhale, but your common breathing shuts all that down and functions from here. So this part is about getting the job done, doing what you have to do to survive, keeping things organized and in order. So you function in life from that place. And although you're in touch with your emotions, also you walk around kind of detached from your emotions and observing because it's difficult to trust. What you'll do, you'll meet people and you'll look and you'll wonder and you'll question, can I be myself? Can I be crazy? Can I open up and show them me? And most of the time, because this door is mostly closed, the answer is no. So then you just stay kind of reserved and a step back. Now, in here is your passion also. So it's what you really want to do on a bigger level. So the more you breathe through the trust and you surrender, there's that word again, right?
Yeah.
You surrender to what your emotions are telling you, the more you're going to have intuition. Intuition is higher than the heart up here, and you'll feel free to express your truth as it comes through the heart. Yeah. So just breathe with your mouth again. Let's see what else is happening. Okay. There's a pause before the inhale right there. Okay. So the inhale, it means you have the inhale is how we receive life and love and abundance. You have a resistance to receiving. So if somebody gives you a gift, you look over your shoulder and you wonder who it's for. You don't actually receive the value of who you are, and or you think, oh, did I do enough for this? Did I, I have to work some more to before I receive. There's this like you have to balance it in your mind with the given receive. So wouldn't you like to be able to just receive for no reason? That would be nice, right? Most people. But in your breathing, we can see that's a challenge. So keep breathing just with your mouth. Okay. And on the exhale, it's holding on. So rather than do this for me, see if you can. Okay. So now breathe with your mouth. Okay. So you're even when you take a big inhale, exactly. So you're holding on in the throat. That's not expressing your truth, and it's related to the heart and the emotions. And now breathe just with your mouth. And when you do try to let go, it's still the body's holding on. And it's even, I get a sense it's related to the shoulders and behind the shoulder blades in the middle. That's all a way of protecting your heart, because in matters of the heart, some things were a little more painful, not the pleasure that you wanted, didn't go the way you wanted, so you just close down. So in a session, we would work on all of these areas. I would work with the body. You would find a rhythm. So let's just demo this. Breathe just with your mouth, something like in, and then open the mouth. Good. In, out. Just like a wave. Wave goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up. Okay. And breathe. Now big inhale. So where I put my hand behind the shoulder blades is an area that's holding on. I can feel the tension. So as she breathes into it, this is more of the science, but oxygen is getting there and the tension is being massaged by the oxygen and the breath, and slowly that muscle will relax. Big inhales, in, and now as big as you can, really. Good. And now slightly blow the exhale, because she's holding on, the body's holding on to it. So you want to find like, and, and, and good. There's a little more momentum. It wants to come up. See, it's starting to come into the chest. And now take a few big inhales. We're going to put your hands together and elbows together. Take a big inhale and hum with your mouth closed. And then push your arms out. So really open against me. The other way. Yeah, that'll work. Good. Open, open, open. Keep going. Good. Really feel your power and courage there. Stronger, stronger. There you go. Then one more. Big inhale. Put the hands together. And again, open and as long as you can this one. Good. Really exhaust yourself. Mm, mm, and breathe. Good. Relax and breathe. Inhales. Okay. And all of a sudden, there's a movement more through the heart. Okay.
I can feel a tingling also in my body.
Yes. So the tingling is areas that are starting to open up. And big inhale. Really big inhale. There you go. See, that big inhale was different. Finally, there's a slow movement. If we continue and have a session, we would, in different ways, apply different body manipulations and pressure. And afterwards, you would really have a soft openness in the heart, which would allow you to connect to your voice that includes really the passion that wants to move inside of you. And out, and out. Okay. So I'll ask you again, in your mind, is there more space or thoughts?
Yes, there's much, much more space.
Much more space. And can you feel a difference in the body? Is
Yeah.
there, and where? Is there a certain area the breath is going or more open?
I feel like there's, I can't explain it, but like a silence in the body, and it's
Right.
like a bigger,
More
like
expanded.
big expansion. Yeah.
Okay. And a stillness.
Stillness.
Okay.
Yeah. Silence or stillness. Yeah.
Perfect. What I can see also, I talked mostly about the chest, but you're breathing much deeper. Can you put your hand into that?
Yeah.
That wasn't moving, 5 minutes ago. So really it gets you more settled. With that, when you connect to the body, you're going to have more peace of mind. And then when you add your heart with that, then you're going to have much more energy with what you're passionate about. Okay. How do you feel?
Feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice.
It was good.
You're awesome. Good stuff.
Look, thank you so much, JD. It's very clear that there's exciting times ahead for breathwork and a lot of things still to explore.
Yes.
So, yeah, thank you very much for your time today. And I hope that we'll be able to see you soon after you've finished all your research, and maybe we could,
Yeah.
you could talk about
Let's
that.
talk
and
about
fill up
that
the
again.
show.
So thanks for having me.
Thank
I
you.
always like to share, and yeah,
Um,
it was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye. I want to give a special thank you to Just Be Healing Center. This place is amazing. The space is beautiful, and they have a lovely community of healers. I hope also that you liked our video today. It was quite fascinating. If you like the video and you like this kind of content, please do like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I hope to see you in our next video. As we close this session, just remember that the air we breathe is not just oxygen to keep us alive. It's life itself moving through us, around us. This unseen field of atoms endlessly circulating, endlessly entering and leaving our bodies. This invisible field sustains not only our lungs, but our very spirit. This field also goes through all things: water, trees, nature. Nothing can survive without breath. Breathing is life. With every inhale, we're actually taking in the wisdom of the universe. The same oxygen carried by stars, trees, oceans, and countless beings before us. With every exhale, we release, and in that release, we join the great rhythm of life. Breathwork reminds us that the body, the mind are not separate worlds, but one sacred field woven together by this unseen current. In the stillness between breaths, we touch the mystery that connects all things. So now when you go back to your day-to-day life, don't just breathe to survive. Breathe to connect, to ground yourself, and to remember who you really are. Every single breath is proof that you are part of something much bigger.